Hello, amigo. Eagle Gardens 1 on Instagram, and this is fucking talking. Oh, this is Weed Nerd World 810.9. What the fuck was I thinking? Cheers, y'all. Hopefully, you guys have had a great hump day. Me in the background. Love. This chat popped out. Yeah, fucking smoke one with y'all. There we go. Everything's in place. What's up, Robert Hazelton? What you smoking on, good sir? Rocking out a little Missy Elliott there. Hopefully we'll get a few people pop in on this Weed Nerd World. The last couple have been a little slow. I don't know if it's the summertime or what. If you got a big let me search it. Got crickets so far. Cheers, fucker. What's up, SoCal? How you doing, my friend? Don't I look like a Holly Berry poster? See the Belvedere playing tricks on ya. Girlfriend wanna be like me, never. You won't find a joke that's even better. I'll make you hot as Las Vegas. I haven't had any edibles in a while. Take it back on. So happiness, they got it to me. I'm not a prostitute, but I can give you what you want. I love your phrase and your mouth full of phones. Another way my butt, boom, 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 boom. Keep your eyes on my boom, 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 boom. They think you can handle this, but don't. Take my thumb on. What about you, SoCal? What you smoking on? So you see what I can do. Is it worth it? Let me work it. Lay down, flip it and reverse it. It's your primitive divine yet. It's your primitive divine yet. I am smoking some Critical Plus. I gotta work yet. It's your primitive divine yet. What's left? It's your primitive divine yet. Boys, looks like boys. Feels like a pinner. I'm putting enough in there. Girls, get that cash. It's not a job, we're shaking it. Ain't no shame, ladies, do your thing. Just make sure you're ahead of the game. Good. I need to get some more seeds going myself. I need to mail some seeds out. Picture black saying, oh, yes, I'm my son. No, got everything, so I drive faster. Just to make it easy. Smoking this joint. Nobody shows up. I gotta find something to do. Matter why you act dumb like wood dog. Say you act dumb like wood dog. As the drummer boy go some of this cinnamon. What'd you drop? Let me work it. I put my thing down, flip it and reverse it. It's your what'd you drop outside, Mr. Hazelton? If you got a big let me search it. I gotta work it. Seven old people. What's up to 7 of you? Say something in chat. Oh shit, what I do? Might be just another quick. Cheers to the 7 of you, yes. What we got next? What's up, Benny Band? Message. Turn it from over. my chest. So it is official. I am judging part of the competition there. Gems and genetics next week. What exactly category? I do not know yet, but I will be there. What up, Red Bill? Cheers, Red Bill. J542012. Good to see you, Red Bill. I hope so. Cheers, silent one. How are you this evening? Officially Thursday morning, I guess. What's up, Rod Hang? Nice to Moon. We just fucking out. People keep rolling, the streets is calling, drink till the nights are put this chat over here till I can get some people in. Please don't make us tell you how much you what'd that do? Just lost my chat. Is that Luda? It is. Get a quick rocket before it was. Right on. Crazy people everywhere, Red Pill. Oh, why did I turn it? I do not even know why I just turned it. Nick Gruber. That's a pretty good skit. Cheers now to the 14 of y'all in chat. Thanks again, Mr. Alex Hardy, for that delicious hash you sent and the seeds. And I think I'm going to drop some of them seeds. A couple of films right off the top. What the fuck? Good book. All right, we need some more music. We need some more music since nobody's banging in. Nobody's banging in. Going right out to favorites list. Okay. I know it's corny, but I do like this one. What you know about rolling down in the deep? A quick little internet fad there. The eagle has landed. There's a couple of phrases I like in this song, that being one, of course. It's okay, I'll hold that fucking phone up. Rolling down in the deep. What's up, Red Pill? When these people talk too much, put that shit in slow motion. Yeah, I feel like an astronaut in the ocean. What you know about rolling down in the deep? Claude, I don't think there's much of a difference, to be honest with you. I feel like an astronaut in the ocean. I could use a little bit of coffee myself. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Don't believe it, T-H-O-T. She keep playing me dumb. I'm a player for fun. Y'all don't really know my man.
mental. Let me give you the picture like stencil. Falling out in a drought, no flow rain wasn't pouring down. See that pain was all around. See my mode was kind of lounge. Didn't know which way to turn. Slow was cool, but I still felt burned. Energy up, people feel my surge. I'ma kill everything like this purge.
All right, we got a few of you in here. What are you guys smoking on? You guys got anything outside? That Alex Hardy hash was pretty good. EP810.9 I suggest it. Still got a little, probably one bowl fucking delicious. I like the actually the dark dry set. It's better. Just as good as
When a piece of this, a piece of mine, my piece of sign, keep me pleased between the lines, my rhyme decline to break your spine. They say that I'm so fun, you never match my grind.
Dumbest shit gets blocked. What's it? What's getting blocked? This song? It's all true.
Put that shit in slow motion. Yeah, I feel like an astronaut in the ocean. What you know about rolling down in the deep? When your brain goes numb, you can call it mental freeze. When you think too much, put that shit in slow motion. Yeah, I feel like an astronaut in the ocean.
Small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. Fuck it, we're gonna listen to the old Cutlass or the Cutlass Supreme. How was your guys' home day? My week's been pretty good. Moving along myself.
83 cutlass just to bring the ruckus. I almost got taken out by you fuckers. Knock it down, show them a mighty down the uppers. Downers, downtowners, only the fuckers. Try to slay, I stay. Stay quicker, that's the let on. I say not
White Banner, Red Wiz, Green Bag, Sour Jack.
17th Union music. I don't think I'll ever lose it. Got a whole block to share blues with. A district that takes cyclones like, don't pull that gun out, homes unless you gon' use it. Sounds ignorant, but makes perfect sense. These kids don't have belongs in white picket fence. But we seen it, we always by the sickest chance. Took our innocence back then and we can make it sense. And when you think I run around in the tank. Side, low, truck pro style, used to make bangs, rollers down on the other side and down.
My taters, that's good though. Veggies are good.
We walk out to a tree, the boss like scream, I'm around here, the session's emo. Mine's ice cold like Boss Rubino. That's why there's Twilight and no casino. That's why there's trap on the radio with no primo. But I ain't hating yo, I just keep playing.
The Weed Nerd World must be busy the last few days, week.
But generally, I keep it cool.
The Weed Nerd World,
Meet with CEOs and not CEOs.
We shall see.
Don't care personally and not real. You heard? All we ask is that you don't squeal. Through the crime, through the time.
So let me ask you this: out of all the shows out there, which one of them, if I were to do an interview, which one of you, which show would you guys like me to see on first? Who deserves the first interview? I have a few thoughts in my head, but thought I'd do one. In a minute. Right. What we got next? Ooh, I say. Are they here? They're cool dudes. GR420, Kino, and GMO, both cool dudes. All right, we're going to this. This is Eminem / Aerosmith in like a mix. What's up, Mind Toker? How are you doing, myself, my friend? Myself. So, the Joe Rogan experience. I would like that'd be cool as fuck. I'd like to either be on or interview him. Funny, that's cheers, faded farmer or fire farmer. Jamie Poole, Seed Fire. My dust is gone. This is a good mix right here too. This is Eminem's. This is Aerosmith and Eminem's "Sing for the Moment." What's up, Green 13? Cheers, my friends. No. June 1st. That means I have 2 months and 25 days to get my ass into shape for this race. I can currently run a portion 9 of the 10 miles. And I have almost, like I said, 2 months, 25 days to hit that extra mile and then some, be ready for it. Cheers, Green Dude. Tell the Mrs. G13 we say hello. Thank you, Green Dude. There's no control. He just lets his emotions go. Some 41 Nelly. What you got? Walk this way. That'd be a different mix up. Tractor Buzz Lightyear acetone. Cheers to you. You know what they say, if you're running, you live in a bad neighborhood. I don't live in a bad neighborhood, but I live through a beautiful area to run through. 500 mils of water. I've heard of the baking soda thing. It's a salt to be able to run for ages. I may look into that, Stu. Thank you. Fucking, it's gonna be a hot motherfucker tomorrow, man. Woo! Shit. Supposed to be like fucking 90. Supposed to run that 9 miles before the show tomorrow. It's gonna be hot, hot, hot. You guys missed, oh man. I was gonna do the sunset thing for you guys today. Fucking, it's kind of cloudy, overcast. I said, it's not gonna be that good a one. Man, got around the lake. It was stunning. Absolutely stunning. He just missed the end of it as it was going down. It's amazing. Bread, fucking ball. Stops lactic acid buildup. Or turns. Shot back to Nice. So I had to try that. That's a neat little thing that can help. Say music and all the moves and talks you
Killing low with gun, before you would pop me too. And if the can, and the next time you assaulted too.
I just looked up and it was 20 minutes, 22 seconds. Beats.
They think the shit's cool, not knowing we really just protecting ourselves. We entertainers, of course the shit's affecting ourselves. You ignoramus, but music is reflection of self. We just explain it when we get our checks in the mail.
What's up?
What's up, Angus? How you doing?
Good. Up a little late tonight. Thought I'd bug you.
know what I seen come through the other night as I was throwing in the towel. I was like, man, 20 minutes earlier. Well, probably will this bitch out.
Timing, time and me aren't really friends. I don't really pay much attention to it. It's just spontaneity. Is that the right word? Spontaneity? Yeah. But what's up, man?
What's man? Fucking being happy and grateful day by day. I think that's part of your daily recipe for life lately. I think it's a good one.
Can't go wrong there.
So how close are we now to the trip?
On the 17th of this month, or of June, I guess. Yeah, we're in this month. So yeah, I'm getting excited. I can't fucking sleep, man. That's why I went, fuck, we're in June. Oh shit. It's like, getting close to the starting gate or whatever. But yeah, I'm excited. I want it over with. I just, it's not going to be all fun and games. There is a little bit of pain involved. I'm also going to visit a dentist. I got 2 implants that I need to have done. It's very expensive to have them done here in the United States. And they got top-notch facilities and doctors. So my doctors are all now in South America. It's cheaper to take a plane vacation because they put you up in even the dentist picks you up at the airport, takes you to a 5-star hotel, puts you up there, and you're there a week and a half to do the dentistry. I'm just going in for the first examination, and I'll probably go back next year because you can go on a wellness vacation and it's still half the price of what you would pay here in the States. And honestly, I think we'll see, but I've heard some very good reports that it's better. I mean, the work is much more conscientiously done, and kind of reminds me of the old days here in America.
Everything was, when we had American pride, everything we built, probably put that stamp on there. Yeah. I'm glad that you're the time's getting nearer there. I kind of had that crunch time, like it was like yesterday, because I have put out there into the ether that I'm gonna run that race, and I was like, fucking, it hit me yesterday. I thought a few months. I thought I had months and months, 4 months even. Getting close. Then the realization, man, this year's fucking flying by for one. And then I get the realization, I'm like, man, tomorrow it's like June 1st, dude. Yeah, like 2 months. 2 months and like I was saying at the beginning, 2 months and 25 days to get your shit together and be ready to not only fucking race this fucker, but place in this fucker. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So what's your training like?
Right now I'm running like so first day I basically will run on a treadmill tonight. I'll run as fast as I can. So basically this is my like old training. You know what I mean? Now the training that you've learned through your life still kind of echoes out when I'm still training for something now. Yeah. So this has been the process the whole time. So I'd start running at whatever speed. Now that speed is 6'1". I'll run at 6'1" for 5 minutes, then I'll bump up to 6'2", and then I'll run for 5 more minutes, bump up to 6.3 until I hit my 45-minute mark. The machine will only let me run for 45 minutes. So, but lately, as I get up and my endurance has been a little bit better, so I've been hitting that next up at the half mile. And then as I get closer and closer, that goal right now is to know the minimum of 5 miles at the 45 mile. So I'm trying to now use the treadmill time to try to build up speed. You know what I mean? Build up some of that speed and go as far as I can in that set time. Tomorrow, I'll go out and I'll run the 8.6, close to 9 miles of the race is 10. So I've been bumping in and out. So tomorrow I'll actually hit the road and run a hilly path, 9 miles. And then I'll take a day off. And then I'll hit the treadmill again. And then, you know what I mean? The 9 miles again, day off. That's a 3-day cycle, basically. And then trying to hit the weights here and there. It's, you know, I right now I've had a lot of people like, man, you're trying to bulk up, and I'm like, no, I'm not trying to bulk up. You know what I mean? I do. As much as I would like to gain some mass right now, it makes no sense to me to bulk up and put more weight on to run with. You know what I mean? Just to fucking put the joints through more work, just to fucking, fuck all that. So I'm trying to just stay more toned and healthy than, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to build mass when I'm doing like weight
So
work, I guess.
So it's a 10-mile race, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I got 2 months of 26 days to tack on that extra mile, and then hopefully 1 or 2 on top of that for just to not to puss out at the 10-mile mark. You know what I mean? I want to have some in the tank in case I've got to chase somebody down in that last level.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Back in the day, in Portland, Oregon, there's a little hill. It's called Mount Tabor. It's not much of a mountain, but that's where I grew up. And my buddy Ray, his brother was heavy into weights. We were all weightlifting. And there was the Muscle Man race where you had to bench press X number of pounds and run a mile and a half, and may the best man win. And so 10 miles, that was, you wouldn't see when you're training to do the bench, which was anywhere from 200 to 300 pounds, depending on which category you're in. You had to be strong and run. But I would train, I would do much like what you're doing, except every other day would be stairs, basically. And that really built my endurance, because when you're carrying a muscle mass, you got a pretty good muscle mass. So when you're carrying a muscle mass, the endurance level is really your key aspect to finishing whatever competition, whether it's doing the rope thing or running or whatever. We had all kinds of stupid shit that we did. But the stairs helped me the most. That's what I was saying. So I don't know, in your gym, do they have one of those stair things? We used to have one.
Yeah.
That would put me to the ground real fast.
Probably the one piece of equipment I don't use is the stair thing.
Yeah.
The bike I started on. I went from the bike to the cross trainer thing
Yeah, that's
to the fucking treadmill was the progression there. But now I'm either like I actually got the gym to sponsor me. So like from now to fucking race day, at least, free gym time, to hang out. Yeah. So yeah, that works. So I'm thinking about like on like some days, like cool days or whatever, to even doubling up on the treadmill there, 45, take a breather,
No, you
for
can't. You can also, do you have the tilt on the, or the, what do you call it, the elevator, where you're going
yeah,
up?
the incline.
Yeah, the
Incline.
incline, yeah. That's what I use on my, I got an old treadmill here that I just ran almost into the dirt. But that's what I'm trying to do is when I get back, hopefully I'll be able to start lifting with my neck the way it is now. I mean, I just can't do it without being down. I'll work out and then I'll be down for a week. It's like, oh, that's kind of a wasted effort, you know. So we'll see. That's the whole goal here. Try to make an old man young again.
I can't wait. I'm really excited for you and this thing here.
It well, I've had several people that are very interested that really want to actually go do it. And I know it's kind of expensive, but when you're in the kind of pain that makes you want to spend that kind of money, that tells you the kind of pain you're in. You know, I mean, it's fucked. So, you know, I'm dropping shit. You know, my left hand is getting better since I changed my diet, but I drop milk, I fumble shit now. It's like, what the fuck, man? And it's because my hands are so sticky. They're not, I used to be really good with my hands, and it just really it kind of psychologically disturbs me a little bit that I can't do those types of things. Like I used to do chip tricks and stuff when I played poker. Nah. I could flip a coin. That's about it.
I like the way that you're going towards or at it with, the stem cells versus more like invasive surgeries. You know what I mean? I'm not a huge fan. Not a huge fan of doctors or surgeries.
Yeah,
I've saved my ass a few times, but that don't mean that I want that to be my first choice.
I agree. I think my open heart surgery was needed. I mean, that kind of, you have to change the carburetor, you know, in order for the whole auto to run properly. And mine was clogged all the way. So, but yeah, my neck surgeries, I kind of wish I didn't do them. I really, and I've had 3 of them. Well, the one I had to do just to get rid of the bone spur that was pressure on my spinal cord. But after that, the disc replacements, the fusions, like what Johnny is going through, Johnny Cannesy, I feel his pain, man. It's a tough one.
Tough dude right there, Johnny.
Yeah, I like that guy.
Take it with a smile. It seems to anyway.
Make the best of every situation is the goal, I think. But it gets tough, man. I mean, pain is a disabler. It can screw up a lot of things. I hide it well, but I'm in pain right now. I mean, it's just, you kind of get used to trying to ignore it to the most part. But there's there's times when you just like, fuck. You want to kill somebody, this. No. But yeah, I got my garden kind of trimmed back, so I'm ready. I wish I could just go now, but I gotta wait. I'm milking them an extra day because I guess the 19th is a holiday. So I get that one for that day. My lodging is free. Nice little benefit. But they have a whole complex that I won't even have to leave the complex except to go see my dentist. And I'm not sure. I mean, if I'm in pain or if I'm laid up, I'll scratch the dental appointment. Just wait for another time. But it's too much. It's just the price of shit here, man. It's just it's crazy. I mean, they wanted to do these 2 implants. It was over $5,000. I'm like, fuck you. I mean, I said to myself, can you chew and eat? Yeah. Okay. Well, fuck this. You know what I mean? It'd be nice to have, be able to chew properly, right?
Yeah, I
But
think that's the way I'm hoping to go. Is
yeah,
implants or fucking something like that. Fucking, I don't know. Unfortunately, I've had struggled, with the one partial that I have. That's the only false tooth I have is that one in the front. And at one point, they had what they call a flipper. This one's more like a bridge. It clips in the front and behind the gum. But before, it was a flipper, and it was just like a tooth, and the top of your mouth held it in. And that was the fucking worst, man. You couldn't taste nothing. Even to this day, like if I'm eating and there ain't nobody around, I pop that fucker out and eat. It's just more comfortable to eat for me. But back then, I used to do it, and maybe it's just a habit from that because you couldn't taste anything, man. You literally couldn't taste anything. So I can't imagine having a whole fucking mouthful of false teeth and shit, man. That just seemed like that would spoil fucking. I don't know, but if I have the opportunity, I'd rather have replace them one by one or in a plate.
yeah. Well, down there or in Columbia, down there in Columbia, the price I was quoted was $1,200 a piece. And I'm like, well, that's 24, it's 2,400 compared to over $5,000. So I'm like, shit, you can buy a first class plane ticket and do the implants and come back and save money. I'm like, wow. So yeah. I might just make a yearly trip, and do everything, like have a cardiologist, have a dentist, have them all just lined up and take a vacation and do my wellness once a year. I'm at that age where I really need to start kind of going to the doctor and not. I mean, I don't now because I don't trust them. I'm waiting for them all to stick me with a needle or something. I'm like, fuck you, I ain't going in. So I don't know. That's what this scamdemic has done to me. It's just kind of made me afraid of the system itself. I'm kind of learning it's not really for us as much as I would hope it would be. But are you getting a chance to grow anything where you're at?
No, the ones I had started are outdoors, so I'm not going here. But the Cholumba Map2s are kind of scattered outdoors. But yeah, so all I can do for the moment. So I'm doing what I can do. But I'm actually kind of hit some in some very public places. So it's kind of a fun move. Let's see how long they last right there with everybody driving by.
Yeah.
Right in your face type thing.
Well, like they have these shopping marts and we call them Fred Meyer's here, where it has everything. You go, it's a one-stop shopping, right? And somebody I can't remember on IG was going with his extra seeds and in those flower. They have them all flowered. And the guys go out there and water them, keep everything all nice and lush. And people buy plants, and he's putting seeds in all the plants that are being sold. So when these people get home, right, they're going to start be growing canvas plants, and they don't even know it. I was just like, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I wish I would have thought of that, to be honest. That's a great one. I mean, what a way to. Oh dear, look at this. What is this? Is this a coordinate tree? What is this?
Been flinging some seeds here and there too. Randomly. Yeah.
Nice.
Same kind of thing too. In some like more public places. Just like, okay. Why not here?
Long time ago, I used to, when I was married, this was shit, I was just a kid. And I was hiding smoking weed from my ex-wife. Not very well, by the way. But every time on the way to work in the morning, I'd pull over in this one business district. It was early, so nobody was around. I'd smoke a joint, and I'd always end up with seeds because this was back in the day when you get weed, it had seeds in it, basically. And I just take the seeds and throw them into the pathway. And pretty soon I do that every morning. Pretty soon I started seeing these plants, and they were growing, and they got to be about 3 or 4 feet tall. Before one day I pulled up and they were all cut down. It's like, fuck. So, but nowadays you don't want to do that shit. They got cameras everywhere, so you'd be in trouble. You know what I mean?
Oh, I've considered the fact where I've already.
Well, doing it in the shopping centers is a great way because you just kind of, as you're looking at the plants, it's a great cover. You know, it's easy to drop a few seeds in there. That'd be good one. That was the best magnolias I've ever had.
There's a lot of parks in the state land up here.
Yeah. I only did one outdoor grow that got ripped off, so I kind of went indoors after that.
Yeah, I don't even care.
Yeah.
Care, really, to be honest with you. That's more like community fun.
Yeah, somebody benefited, right?
Yeah, just like that, just like a community garden. It's fun. Eat some, take some.
Yeah, man. It's always great to see you online. You got yourself some more ink on there, I noticed.
Yeah, the last piece I got there was the bridge there. Yeah. This piece right here, the San Francisco Bridge. Of course, I won't show you. The Golden Gate Bridge is what that
Cool.
is.
I lived in San Francisco for about a year. Actually got engaged to a girl there when I was there. And but I was kind of running away from my problems up in Oregon with my ex. Son, my oldest boy, called me and he started crying and complaining about his mother. And I was in the van the next day driving back home. And I haven't left since. But I had a life pretty much chiseled out for me down in San Francisco. Of course, the places I call it the land of the fruits and the nuts. It's kind of an interesting place to hang out at. But just like in downtown Portland, used to be a just a pristine place to go hang down by the river. Now it's just a slum. It's just terrible. I was almost wanted to cry. But yeah, now this boy that called me, that was many, many years ago, he's going to have my grandson maybe on June 5th. It may be the 15th. I may be in South America when my grandson gets born. So I'm kind of hoping he comes a little early, just sending a little word up there, be nice. We do have a schedule to keep here. But yeah, my grandson will be coming along, #1. How's that going for you?
It's going good. It's going good. I can say I'm pretty fucking happy. Life, I feel good. You know what I mean? I things slowly, day by day, I get speckled back. I'm slowly getting back to normal. That's all I can ask for on that end. Feel healthy, feel good, happy. I'm not actually. I don't really have any complaints right now.
That's good. That's a good place to be. You got a grandson, right?
Yes, sir. He just turned 1. Little man Chase.
You get to see him quite often.
Not as much as I'd like to, that's for sure.
It's funny because I've always been annexed from all the gatherings. My ex-wife, 40 years now, we've been divorced, is Japanese. She was born here in America, but her family was from Japan. And they were a bit racist towards me, quite honestly. And so when we got a divorce, I should have took the advice because I saw one of their relatives, I can't remember, one of her uncles or something. He was really being an asshole to his wife. And I go, dude, why do you treat her like that? And he goes, well, if I don't, she'll run right over me. I went, what? I go, really? He goes, yeah. And so it was common to see that in the Japanese people that were from Japan. And I don't think it's that way now at all. But when I got a divorce, I remembered what he said. So I thought, shit, I'm just not that guy. So, and but they've kept me out of all the celebrations, Christmas, everything. It's just kind of, I just don't do holidays primarily because of that reason. Because I don't have any other family. And but we had a baby shower and I fucking went. Jeez, it was interesting. Because a lot of these people that haven't talked to me in 40 years refused to talk to me, had to talk to me. And it was interesting. So they can't annex me anymore because he's my grandson too. So good change, actually. They were all very cordial and nice. Before they would you were invisible. I mean, you could be there and they would talk to everybody and just act like you did not exist. And that's in a very, very effective way to destroy someone. It's just, and if you have a group of them doing that and you're there, dude, you want to find your way out of there about as fast as you possibly can. It's a very terrible feeling. But yeah, those days are long gone, thank God. So I'm there, and so her sister, my ex's sister, she goes, "Oh, you look good." My God, thank you. I wish I could say the same, but I didn't say that part. I was thinking it, right? And she goes, "You never got married?" I go, "No, once was enough." It was interesting.
I agree with that. Some lessons, man, I've learned, might have to do that 2-3 times. Marriage once.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
I don't think the contract is necessary. I mean, I wouldn't mind finding someone that would mind cohabitating, and looking out for each other in a very loving manner on a soulful level, more so than you put contracts involved in it, all becomes ego and all financial, and it's just not. Love disappears. It seems like what happened to that? We used to have that, but I don't know. We have a pretty high divorce rate, over 50%, I think, in the United States. It's for good reason. And if you could just get rid of that contract, I think then there's no controls. You have to actually be nice to each other to stay together, because anybody can walk at any moment, So I wouldn't mind something like that, but shit, I'm almost 70 years old, buddy. It's kind of like a little late in the game, you know what I mean?
At least you're still playing.
Oh yeah, I'll play. I just can't get as many others to play with me, damn it. Not kidding.
Yeah.
I stay busy.
I'd like to spend more time with little man, but man, I've tried to get B to move now. Fucking out of that area for a while, and to be more see him more, I had to move closer to him, and I just care to move on from that geographical location. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And there's other small things. I love kids. I love my grandson, but that's it. That's literally it in the like, mid Michigan area. Like I've seen it, done it, been there, but it's time for new horizons and shit. And it sucks that I have to be kind of nailed down to that area. So,
Oh, for me, it's I moved back to where I grew up, someplace where I was wanted, and but every time I go there, uh, just bring back a lot of bad memories and bullshit that I didn't want to think about. You know, I repressed. I'm very big at repressing things. I'm not that way anymore. All right, but it builds up and it creates aggravation, especially if you have post-traumatic stress. It really is not a good technique to do. Repressing stuff just makes things really worse for you. For me, it did anyway. But it took me a while to grow up. And I feel pretty good about it now. I was talking to my boy. I live with my middle son, and we were talking. He's made some huge changes in his life as well, and we're both kind of trying to compare notes, you could say, in the morning before he goes to work and stuff. He does a lot of meditating, just like I'm doing. We share experiences. And I think that a lot of that is actually happening. I think a lot of people are leveling up, to themselves. Like, maybe I need to fix a few things. Maybe it's not the other guy. Maybe it's me. So I see a lot of that happening, but I also see things going in the other direction as well, where it's nothing but me. It's all about me. What was your name again? I mean, it's just so we're living in very interesting times. I mean, I think it's all for the best. Except I'm paying like 3 times I used to for lunch and gas and all that kind of shit. So
yeah, I was talking about that the other day, the push of the wage out. I get it. I get it. Everybody wants to make $1 million, but at the lower levels, without the actual skill that sets everything apart, that makes you deserve that extra wage. You know what I mean? uh Everything, you just drag everything else up with you. So if it costs fucking 15, you're paying a McDonald's worker fucking $20 an hour, that means they have to charge more for burgers, yada yada yada, and it just goes up, 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 up. And it's like, fuck, you were better off staying where you were, right? I mean, if we could just, we should have brought things back down to a realistic level versus trying to fake it, the income of going up. You know what I mean? Why chase it up when you can bring things back down to a more manageable level? They don't want to
the
do that. They don't
well,
want to. The greedy fuckers that that will be don't want to take half as much for their products now. You know what I mean? And that's what it would take. So the answer is, I get more money. I ain't taking less. Jeez, no way. Business ain't gonna take less. That's
so with high inflation, all right, because the dollar is crashing, um, and with our ability or with our consent to allow the Federal Reserve to continue to just make fake paper money. What will happen in history? What has happened is eventually they just make so much money that you got to have a wheelbarrow full of money to get a gallon of milk. So it just crashes, and then it goes back to a values-backed system. But it takes years of the transition, at least 5-10 years of transition to something that is of value. Plus, the cycles of this planet are evident. I mean, America was the next Rome. Rome fell. America is going to fall. It's falling now. And there's more people. The reason it took so long to get my passport, I learned, well, plus the fact that I kind of screwed up my first application, but there are more people trying to get passports to get the heck out of America than ever before in history, ever. So that should say something. You don't hear that on CNN. You know what I mean? People are trying to get the fuck out of Dodge. So now they got they're brewing another war of sorts to blame the crash on, right? And now people are holding them accountable to the fake scamdemic. So that's collapsing. So they're not really doing a very good job at controlling the masses anymore. And honestly, that's a great change. I hope it continues. It will continue. There's no other way for it to go. All the threats of this AI bullshit, I don't think that's going to be the thing. I mean, how are you going to pay these guys with inflation? How are you going to pay these guys that, number one, are lying for you, all right, covering for you with all the criminality that you're doing at the top, and eventually you're not going to have enough wheelbarrows full of money to pay these deceivers to keep deceiving. And what are they going to do? Well, they don't want to be persecuted, so they're not going to deceive anymore. They're going to blab, and the whole stack of cards will collapse. It's not an if, it's when, basically. So I'm just like, getting my popcorn ready and sitting back, trying to be conservative as much as possible, because this is a good time to go broke if you're not careful. Things sneak up on you. They don't want to raise the wages, right? Because they don't want to do the math on the other end, where they have to realize the fact that they're getting sucked under by the cost of goods are going up and up, and so the profit margins shrink. You're gone. It's just math. So, but again, I can't wait to see it go. I'm actually glad. I think that this is a good time for me to spend the amount of money that I'm spending, because who knows if it'll be worth anything next year. You know what I mean? And I've invested in metals, but it's a little bit scary, because what happens when the dollar's worth zero and you got a bunch of them, or you got to stack them somewhere, thinking that they're going to be worth some money, and they're not. Like, what I do with this paper, I guess, toilet paper now. It's there's things that are going to happen. People are going to go, "What the fuck? This isn't really what I thought was going to happen." But if we look back in history, sometimes you have to go back a ways and go into Europe. But there's several fiat currencies that have crashed in the past. They always crash, fortunately. So yeah, I don't mean to be up here talking about feeling gloom. There's a lot of good stuff going on. Stem cells, I think, people try to, again, there's this undertow of propaganda about stem cells now, right? Oh, there's, who is it? Somebody in the chat there, like, not tonight, but in one of my chats, saying, "Oh, so you're killing babies now to stay alive, and you're going to drink chronochrome now like all the elites." And it's like, fuck, dude, just do the research. It's been going on for years, stem cells, and they don't come from the baby. It comes from a part of the process that gets thrown away. So it's hello, I'm watching. And here's what I think is a little fuzzy. You might have an opinion on this, Eagle. All the UFC guys, they're using it as a training program, right? So I don't know about that. I mean, if you're going there every year or maybe twice a year to shoot yourself up with stem cells to correct an injury, how effective is that going to be? Is there a tolerance? I mean, it's kind of like when we get so fucking stoned, how much higher can you get, right?
I don't think there is a tolerance to it, though. I think it's just more like rejuvenation. I mean, you're not really getting enough to build up a tolerance, and you're making up more of a deficiency. So, oh man, everybody I've ever seen like get into that stem cell, man, they come out like tenfold. It's like age reversal almost. It's a good thing.
I know, like Chuck Liddell, he's rejuvenated. I looked at a picture of him. My intake guy was showing me a picture of before and after. It's like, fuck, the guy looks 10, 20 years younger. He goes, yeah, he's
The
fighting
only
again.
thing is, man, you can't repair the brain with that stem cells.
Well, I heard he like had a match in somewhere in South America. It was a bare knuckle fight. No way. Because he's going back. He's going to be down there when I get treatment. So I hope to meet the guy. But that's
doing some coaching work lately. That's for sure.
What?
I've seen him doing some coaching work lately. That's for sure.
He's still in it. He's feeling great. I mean, all these guys are. It's just like, wow, but I don't know. I want to make it last as long as possible. I can't afford to be going there every year. I guess they can, of course, and I imagine you get a bigger discount than I ever will because you're more of a celebrity, and you can probably leverage that a little bit to. Yeah, I'm going back again, guys. I lost my arm. I'm going to grow a new one.
The high level of fucking medical. I don't know, maybe. I've told, well, if you know me personally, my kids will tell you this, but I've told a few people this lately. I'm like, there's unfortunately like a Ricky Bobby kind of like cockiness that comes after like one of these fucking life setbacks. And I've had a few, I've had bilateral hernia, a setback for a year to have my fucking stomach and then mash the heel back up, fucking the leg surgery, the whole glass incident, leg surgery, that fucking my shoulder being rebuilt. I've had a few really good setbacks, and now the eye bullshit. Every time I come back, man, I seem to like come back pretty fucking good. You know what I mean? And I get cocky. Yeah, rebuilt that shoulder, come back. I'm like, hell yeah, let's fucking fix that shit. I'm good. I'm good. I don't like the medicine, but they can fix some shit these days, man. I've seen, and again, you're not necessarily, I don't know, it depends on your determination. Your attitude plays in such a big factor of that, though. I've got to say that, man. Your optimism when you go into the procedure, your fucking attitude about like what you see, like I'm coming through this 100%. You know what I mean? That vision of coming back, that plays a big factor in it. And then, of course, whatever rehabilitation comes along with that. And then a little bit more. And again, you can't rely on the pills. You can't fucking rely on the fucking physical therapists. You have to, they're nice tools, but when it comes down to recovery from these setbacks, it's all you. You know what I mean? You gotta want it. You gotta think it's possible. You gotta fucking put in the effort. So
Absolutely. Again, I've mentioned Joe Dispenza before, but he has a scientific proof about what you're saying. It's all there's really only one thing we can control, and that's your thoughts. Right now, your thoughts can be influenced. You can get sucked into belief systems that will change your thoughts, right? And make you feel perhaps that you're not in control of your thoughts when you actually are. And there's meditation that allows you to silence all thought, like a reboot of your computer, right? A lot of people don't even realize that that's possible. There's nothing is unless thinking makes it so. That's a fact. So by tuning in to thousands like that go to his clinics, and making a suggestion like everybody create a certain antibody that's not in your bodies right now, that's used for healing, and then testing people to see if that actually happened, and having like 100% of the people creating that antigen within their body. That's kind of shit that blows my mind, right? I could see maybe 50% or maybe 10%, 100%. Right. So is it possible for you to change your body through your thinking? It's been proven so. It's been proven to be a fact, a truth, not a belief. There's a difference between belief and truth. Truth would be like you jump off a cliff, you're going to hit the bottom. There's no argument, right? Gravity is a constant. Right. So when you get 100% results in a scientific test like that, that's pretty amazing. So that's when I watched that and I looked at the paperwork, and it's not bullshit. And it's like, okay, I'm going to get back into meditation. It's been one of the biggest benefits. When I go to bed at night, I do an intention. See, is the big thing that I've learned. My intention at night is to reduce all inflammation in my body. Right, to remove all the plaque with any arteries or blood veins, to restore and rejuvenate my spine, my neck, my overall body. And you go to sleep with that. One thing I notice when I do those intentions, I don't dream. I wake up and I feel better. Do I feel completely like cured? No, but it's happening a little bit at a time. And it's the consistency of it. Is saying the affirmations, doing that little meditation or prayer, if you want to call it, before you go to sleep at night, not missing a day. Do it for years. And what happens is slowly but surely you start to control your thinking, which controls the human instrument that we're within. So this is all proven science now. And that's what I don't mind talking about it now, because the proof is there. It's hard, dude. We've been conditioned so efficiently, wrapped in so many different belief systems, to control us, to basically keep us muted down to where we can only see maybe 3% of the given spectrum that there is to visualize. I don't think we're that evolved if that's all we can see, simply. So, I don't know. Sorry, I'm going off. It's getting late. It's just little simple stuff like that kind of gets to me.
I believe you're right. I believe we haven't completely evolved 100%. We will fucking continue. That's what some of that junk DNA we had for. You know what I mean? We haven't necessarily figured out on how to unlock it. It's there for our use, but we haven't necessarily achieved it yet.
See, the fact that it's there, and if you have the intention to unlock it, it will get unlocked. We are in control. The spark of the divine that's encased in our soul, that is in this human instrument. All right. We're in charge here. We're in charge of this vessel. Nobody else. Our thinking is what makes everything happen. And if things aren't happening the way we want them to, then you obviously need to change your thinking, right? Because nothing is unless thinking makes it so. And we can have excuse after excuse after excuse after excuse, but that's all there is. There's no positivity that's going to create any kind of change. You're just continually re-emphasizing, re-hammering into your mind your limitations when you're unlimited. It's unfortunate we've been so conditioned and mind controlled, and even by the vibrations that are around us right now, as we sit here with the phones, and internet, and what have you. I mean, it's all designed to keep us muted as human beings, to keep us in only seeing 3% of the spectrum. I mean, just imagine you could see 4 or 5%. Holy shit. You might see things out of the corner of your eyes, perhaps. You might, have a feeling of oneness with the earth, which is kind of an incredible feeling. Your feelings, that's the other thing. The feelings have to change. Right? With the changing of the feelings, the experiences become more pure, right? Which means you start vibrating at a higher vibration. Makes a lot of things possible, a lot of things more possible. So that's just me, man. This is how I think. I don't mind coming up here and spreading this stuff with you, Eagle, because you're pretty cool. And the Weed Nerd world is, for the most part, I read Bill. For the most part, everybody's pretty cool. And I really love that about this demographic. But I also think that there's an intersection with the cannabis demographic with so many other demographics, especially on YouTube, that we don't recognize that quite as much. Most of the people in the chat room go to other places other than just cannabis places.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And it'd be nice if we started sharing that, I think, too. What's your other interests? What can your channel? I mean, I'm putting up videos now that I'm not smoking. I'm not doing any. I mean, I'm talking about cannabis, but that's it. So I'm not getting any strikes. I'm not getting any like lockdown. I'm starting to get traction again. I'm like, all right. So if everybody knows who you are and what you do, I mean, everybody knows you smoke and grow weed, right? What else do you do? Right? Can that get you more traction on your YouTube page? Maybe to be seen, maybe to people to see how deep of an individual you really are. It's not just all about growing weed. Maybe the algorithm will loosen up, not strike you with an age restriction, and keep you buried under a bunch of stuff that's probably not worthy to be buried under. But that's something I'm trying to think of here. Recently, I'm trying to just shift it up a little bit, and it's starting to work a little bit. I'm noticing. So I like to hate on YouTube. I don't like to use that word, but they piss me off quite a bit because they restrict me. They restrict my creativity. They restrict my reach to touch people. And it didn't used to be that way. But they are the landlord, so to speak. You know what I mean? And you just have to find ways, I think, to please the landlord and still keep living here. Or they will cut you out, man, and toss you in the garbage. I've seen it over and over. It almost happened to me. So something to think about, I'm just saying. You're doing it too. I mean, I know you're going to you have different venues now, which is cool. Like the sunset thing, dude, I really enjoyed that. Thank you for that.
Man, that's something that's going to be coming more of, and I've appreciated more through a few friends over the last year and a half. And I really, man, today I was getting ready to throw the fucking. I carried a tripod around now, And I was gonna fucking throw in the car today, and I'm like, it looked like it was gonna rain, and went to a good spot, and it fucking was looked like it was gonna rain, so just packed up and then got around the lake, and it was literally 100 times more beautiful than yesterday's sunset. And I was like, oh man, long shot because there's like the lake's like short and then it's long. You know what I mean? So it's kind of oblong. It's weird. It's almost like kidney shape. It's a weird shaped lake. But at one end, you can get that sunset. And you get that. That's the long shot. And fucking man got around to like basically the long shot. It was just a. If you get that long shot, it literally like yesterday. My view of it, it looked like a giant red ball just sitting on the water and disappearing in the water into like a red.
And even after it went down, you could see the glow of it still, like you knew it was still there. Yeah, I'm just like, wow, it's quite, I mean, that's what gives life here.
It's
You know what I mean?
majestic. It really is. Beautiful.
And it was just, I watched the whole thing. I was like, wow, this is cool. I didn't catch it at the time at the live stream. I watched the replay, but yeah, it was really nice.
But it's funny you bring that up because a friend of mine was saying that today that maybe they would like that. It's a little bit of more like intimate time with you, and you know that talking about just like what you're saying, you and your interests and stuff like that. And I'm like, well, maybe you're right. I don't know, but definitely, it's kind of weird, like you're saying, you bring that up because it's kind of just kind of confirming
I've been on YouTube now about 6 years, I think, something like that. And it's like life only times 10 as far as speed and how things change. And it's showing the variety of who you are has not really been the main focus. It's basically look at what I grow, you know, which is cool. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm still going to do cannabis videos. I'm doing it more now for documentation for for everybody else, but mostly I can go back and see, okay, that's what I did. Because sometimes I forget, you know? And things are changing, I guess is what I'm getting at. And YouTube, they got rid of their CEO. Now there's a new person. I have noticed some changes. So we'll see what happens. There's a lot of other places to go too, other than just YouTube, I think. And that's what I think the prior CEO, she kind of forced people to go elsewhere, right? And I'm sure that YouTube would never admit that, but that's what happened. And I think they were probably losing revenue because of it. Because it's not just the cannabis community that they pound into the pavement, when they feel like it. It's people that are not fitting the so-called agenda. It's not about, again, we're losing our right to free speech. They are the landlord, but they can't dictate what you say. I mean, they can restrict it because they obviously do that, age restriction and what have you. But we have rights, and we're paying renters here. We're not like we're not paying. You're paying, even if you have a free page. Eventually, they're going to tack on some charges somewhere, a video, some music, something. They're going to get you, or you may slip up, and they'll get rid of you immediately. Okay, if you're not making them money, they don't have trouble getting rid of you. I've noticed that. So I think the variety, it opens up a variety of advertisers for them to swoop down on, and take advantage of, because that's how they have this big house called YouTube. They do it through advertising dollars. they also are under the strain of the overseers, and they preach an agenda as well. But there's not anybody out there big right now that's not preaching an agenda. I think if you get past a certain dollar amount, it's like, hey, come here. Hey, you come here. You're making too much money, so you got to join this club. What if I don't? Well, we'll just kill you. Okay. Some people have died, I think, saying no. We can go, this is a big controversy, to be honest, but they will kill you if you step out of line and hurting their agendas. So try not to look like a nail, because it's a big hammer out there that will pound you on the head if you stick up too high.
Sorry.
It's all right, but no problem.
This big hammer. It's a big hammer, though. You got me with that.
Yeah. Anyway, I will vacate my post here with you tonight. I again appreciate these little nighttime chats. Keep up the great work. Everybody in the chat room, good to see every single one of you. You too, Red Pill, good to see you, man. Keep swinging, buddy. If you keep stepping up to the plate and swinging, eventually you're going to knock it out of the park. Be consistent. See you guys later.
Cheers, Vegas.
All right.
Always enjoy hanging out with Vegas for a few, especially when nobody else is stepping up. Jeez. I really question the Weed Nerd World thing. I load this up for you guys 100%. If it is hitting its final days, that's it. That's a thing too. As Bingus was pointing out, as far as like currency and everything else, things do cycle. People do cycle. Is this the end of the cycle? I don't know. We've been some crickets lately, so I do appreciate Bingus popping in. It's always fun talking with him on the phone or on the show. But I do appreciate you, Bingus. I spent 2 minutes on fingers. I appreciate you for respecting the rule, right? I really do. Neurosis and psychosis. Cheers to you, Paul. Be nimble, be quick. I'm needing to step up now. Much love. Yeah, much love to you, Paul. Kind of miss you as well. Marcus, always good to see you as well. Chuck and Pollen, hello to you. I like that name. It's funny. Cheers. Yeah, I've had some good days lately. It's kind of, yeah. It kind of explains the absence, I would guess, a little bit. It's, life's good. I appreciate spending time with you guys, man. As I was saying today, man, I am literally just yearning to do shout outs. But I know at this point I'm scared. I need to do like a dry run off air to see how bad it really is on trying to read for that long. I know little things, little like printed writing can be a little difficult right now for me, but man, it's the shout outs. So as I guess I'm trying to say is I'm grateful. I'm grateful, very grateful right now for you guys, this time in life, opportunities in life. Cheers to you, Jeff. I appreciate you. And I really do. I need to sit back down and get back to the focus of the journey. And that was getting out and doing the main thing, fucking talking shit. and talking to all you great people. I need to get back to the interviews and getting back to what the passion and the reason and the rhyme, the why I do this. And that was it wasn't for me to come sit here night after night and blab to myself, even though I do like talking to you guys, a ton. But I didn't start this. I don't do this for my ego, for myself, uh, not even a little bit. I feel like when I come on here, I need to have a reason to come on and hang with you guys. I view your time as very valuable. And so I feel I have to have a good reason. And that reason for me has always been showing you other great people that I've ran into, somehow stumble upon, or whatever. But my vision, my goal has always been to showcase others, not to come up here and ramble on. It's not about me. It's about you guys. But it's been fun to know a lot of you guys along the way. For sure. For that, I'm very grateful. Very, very grateful. Again, if you guys want to come hang out firsthand, smoke one, I'll be at the Gems and Gemstones, I always like it, Gems and Genetics, June 9th through the 11th. Hanging out there, having a good time. There's supposed to be a lot of good fans. If you're in Michigan, love to hang out with you, smoke. I enjoy meeting people firsthand, face to face, even more than I do the opportunities of these video chats, man. But always grateful. Thank you, DK. I appreciate you. I'm glad you guys do like the sunsets. I am going to try to capture more of them. I wish I could say they'd be every day, but they're going to be more random when I can. And some days, like I said, some days there's just not a beautiful sunset. Sometimes they're just shitty. If they're the ones I love spending time with you. And I would like to do a little bit of more of the like one-on-one type things, getting to know you, a little Q&A, if you will. So, good place to drop the ball right here for, this is the end of your day, your journey. Please get some rest. This is the beginning of your day, your journey. Please take time out for a little bit of self-love, a little bit of meditation, along the lines of what I'm hoping is a very amazing Thursday for you. Take time out to do something nice for somebody. Random acts of kindness do save lives, and I'm telling you that I say it all the time, but that is sincerely no bullshit with me. I believe that to the end of my heart, man, to my last breath. We all need it. Sometimes, whether we're willing to admit it or not, random acts of kindness do save lives. That being said, remember Thursday nights are the early Weed Nerd Worlds. 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. I don't know what's up with you weed nerds, but you want to keep it rolling. Better show your ass up. Have a great day. I love you. I will see you tonight at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. You guys have a good day. What the shit is on?